Guys, what's good? It's your boy Phil. Today we're going to talk about chapter 60 and 61 of Record of Ragnarok, the latest chapters in the series. We should be getting a new chapter in like 2 weeks or so look out for that. The round might be wrapping up pretty soon, so that's pretty exciting to think about. And I think I've come to a conclusion on who I do think is going to win this round. Because things are starting to spice up a little bit, right? Things are starting to spice up. And really quick, before we even jump into the chapter, or like the discussion of the chapter, I should say. This is something I didn't realize when I was reading 61 like last week whenever I read it. So this dude Hades, right, takes his staff, slashes his body, opens up a giant ass wound in his chest, right? My boy Chin saw that. He saw that happen. So based on his ability, he's also gonna get a giant ass wound in his chest. So I don't know. That's something to just think about. That's kind of an idea I had about how this round might go down. I felt like maybe Hades will just keep damaging himself, and unfortunately Chin is gonna have to see that, and then he's gonna take all that self-damage. So I don't know. That's just something that popped into my head as I was rereading the chapter, getting ready for this video. Yeah. So if we don't open up next chapter with a giant gash in my boy Chin's chest, then something's the matter. Something's the matter with the continuity. But anyways, that's what we're talking about. There's a lot of shit I want to talk about from these two chapters because they're kind of packed with shit. But without further ado, let's do this shit. So yeah, like I said, we might be finally getting into some Hades material in this in the coming chapters. Obviously, Hades has kind of been lackluster in this round thus far. Up until now, this round has all been about Chin, his different combat techniques, all his different abilities, his eyes, his seeing the different the keys that they have, you know, the weak points and shit on his Neji shit. All that has been all about Chin. And now with this chapter, we might finally be diving in to some Hades stuff, which I'm very excited for. He has like so he was conjuring like Poseidon's song or some shit in chapter 61, cut himself wide open, right? So I'm guessing he has some sort of like blood technique or some shit. I don't know. I was getting a little hyped up. I thought he was gonna have invisibility. I don't think that's the case anymore. We're gonna see. I hope it's just something cool. I hope he has some cool ability, because as of right now, all he's been doing is using his staff and just flinging it around and shit. So I'm thinking we're finally gonna get into some cool Hades type shit, which will be nice. Maybe we get a backstory, flashback, some shit like that. It seems like the tides are starting to shift in this round, and I would not be surprised if my boy Hades comes out on top of this round. But, you know, I'm still conflicted, man. And I don't know if everybody feels the same way. I feel like these two characters are some of the fan favorite characters of the whole series. I love both of these guys. They're great. I really like Chin. Throughout all this fight, his backstory and all that shit, his personality, I really like Chin. Chin is a really cool character. And then obviously Hades, knowing of his mythology and his background, his story and all that shit, and just his character. Big fan of Hades as well. So, you know, I do think Hades is probably going to win, but I don't want to see Chin die, right? I don't want to see that, but who knows? We'll find out. Maybe Hades is gonna just spam the self damage on Chin, and that's how he goes down. I don't know. We'll see. More on that in a bit. We could talk about Adamas really quick, because Adamas, when I was reading the chapter, this was a character that I didn't even know who he was. I forgot completely about this character, Adamas. Dude from the Poseidon flashback. So he's one of the brothers of Hades, Zeus, and Poseidon. See, that's why I was confused, because he says he's their brother in chapter 61, right? And I'm like, you don't exist. You don't exist in mythology. I've never heard of Adamas before. Besides like Zeus's like final form in his round, he named it like Adamas, I think. But I had no clue who Adamas was. But he's their brother in the series. I guess the fourth brother of Hades, Zeus, and Poseidon. And it's really interesting to me that he's been brought into the series at this point in time. He's kind of got like this cyborg type fit going on. And it's like he's working with Beelzebub, right? Beelzebub is probably the dude who put him together, right? because Beelzebub's like this mad scientist type dude that's just chilling underground or some shit. He's working on different creations. He wants to create something that could kill him. Yeah, he's one of those. He's one of those characters who just wants something to kill him, but, you know, he's just too OP. And by the way, you saw his power in that chapter with, like, his invisibility strike or whatever. Yeah, he's busted. He is definitely broken. There's this idea that Adamas might fight for the gods. He might take up a role for the gods, and he might, I don't know, take the spot of, like, Beelzebub or someone. And that's something I could definitely see happening, right? Because I see no other reason for this character to get introduced near the end of round 7, which is presumably where we're at. We're presumably near the end of round 7. So, you know, there we go. There's our extra god, right? There's our extra god. In case we do need an extra round or something, depending on how, you know, everything goes about with Buddha switching sides, you know. So there's our extra god in Adamas. I would have liked Wukong. I thought that was a fan favorite that a lot of people wanted to see, but I could see Adamas taking the place of like Beelzebub or someone else, or Adamas just getting thrown into the you know, the mayhem that is Ragnarok. But it's just weird. It's weird for him to be introduced like this. I don't know if the other brothers even know if he's alive. First off, I don't know if Hades knows he's alive. I don't know if Zeus knows he's alive. I'm assuming they don't, right? Because that would just make sense in you know, the theme, you know, the plot of the story. It would make sense if they didn't know he was alive, but who knows? Maybe they do know. Maybe Hades had to know. Like, he died, right? Adamas died, so maybe Hades saw him in the after. I don't know. I really don't know. Hopefully we get more information on this whenever Adamas's moment does come, because I have a lot of question marks on how this dude is alive. It kind of raises a lot of question marks about how people die in this series, because he supposedly died. He was killed by Poseidon, right? So how is he able to come back alive? And can that happen to some of the other people who already have died in this series? Yeah, bringing back Adamas is kind of a big deal. A little bit. Now, the more I think about it, it is kind of a big deal. I don't know. Let me know down below. I mean, it sounds like Hades at least knows. It sounds like Hades at least knows based off the dialogue in this chapter when Beelzebub is all like, if something happened to your body, Hades would have been pretty upset with me. Yeah, it sounds like Hades knows about Adamas, which makes sense, because Hades is the king of the underworld, right? And Adamas died. So I don't know. A lot of questions I have now. A lot of questions I have now about how death works in this series. But one thing I do think is going to happen is I think Adamas might be fighting in Ragnarok. I think that's something we might have to look forward to for sure. But I don't think this necessarily means Beelzebub isn't going to fight as well. I think Beelzebub has a reason based off of this chapter on why he wants to fight in Ragnarok, is because he wants to see if there's someone out there that could kill him. So we're gonna see. I'm excited. Nice chapter, 60 and 61. They were a lot of interesting parts that got added, and I'm curious to see how Adamas has worked into the series now, because he's kind of a big deal. He's kind of a big deal that he's back now. So we're gonna see, as well as Beelzebub maybe fighting someone. I'm assuming maybe he'll fight Nostradamus, right? I mean, there's so many characters that are being introduced now during round 7 that are slated to fight later. So it's so weird. It's so weird. This doesn't happen all the time in the series. So, but it's happened more frequently now. So we'll see. Beelzebub versus Nostradamus. That's something I could definitely see happening for sure, because of the hype that Nostradamus obviously has going for him. He's hyped up to be the wild card, right, for the humans. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's interesting though. I wonder if Zeus knows. I wonder if Zeus knows that Adamas is alive. That'd be interesting. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say he probably doesn't. I think Hades might be the only other person that knows that Adamas is alive. I wonder what kind of work he was doing too. Like, he comes in with like this attitude, right? He comes in, he slaps this fucking monster, right? Yeah, he crushes its skull and shit, dude. It's crazy. So I don't know. We'll see what kind of, he's probably on some like bounty hunter type, mercenary type shit going on, right? He has that cyborg look to him. I don't know. it's cool. He's a cool character to have introduced into the mix for sure. But guys, that's all I really wanted to talk about this video. Really wanted to just talk about Adamas being introduced into the series, and also what's going to happen in the next chapter with my boy Hades doing this massive gash down his body. Sheen is probably going to reflect that damage onto himself for sure, just based off his ability. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have the feeling round 7 is coming near a close, so we'll see what happens. Guys, let me know down below all your thoughts, ideas, theories, predictions, all that shit. Let me know down below. I'll try to have a preview and prediction video coming out before the chapter drops. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.